So I totally forgot to film an intro video when I was at the salon earlier, so I just finished working out. So here's the intro. Hey, it's Megan Morrison, and I've got another video for you guys today, and I'm going to be showing you guys a really cool color melting technique. We're going to be using 3 different formulas, blending them all together from darkest at the root, fading into like a medium color, and then we're going to give her a little bit of a lighter color on the ends. So I'm super excited. The end result is absolutely gorgeous. If you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up because I post new videos every week and I am really passionate about the content that I put out for you guys. I feel like it's really good information. I give you guys all my formulas. I show you guys my techniques, and these are all legitimate techniques that I use in the salon. I can do them super fast, and I feel like I've learned so much over the years, and I want to share it with you guys. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the content that I put out. All right, let's get into the process. All right, so I've got Amber in my chair today, and this is her hair before. And we're going to be doing a color melt on her today using Paul Mitchell The Demi. So we're going to start out by giving her a pretty deep, rich, dark shadow root, and then we're going to slowly melt it into like a middle shade, and then we're going to do a lighter shade on the ends so it fades into like a really pretty light color on the ends. And then I am going to keep her front pieces out when I first start working. We're going to keep it just a little bit brighter on the face. So I'll take you guys through the process and I'll share my formulas and my techniques, show you guys from start to finish. Alright, real quick, I just wanted to show you guys her inspiration picture. This is the picture she sent me, and it does kind of have like levels already on it. So this is what we're going for, and then I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be using. So for her root formula, I'm going to be using Paul Mitchell The Demi, equal parts of 5N and 4N with the processing liquid. And then for the Midshaft formula, like middle to over hair, we're going to be using 6N and 7PA, equal parts. And then for those ends, I'm going to be using Paul Mitchell The Demi 9N and 9PA, equal parts also with the processing liquid. And I'm doing half an ounce of each. So that was half an ounce of 7PA, half ounce of 6N. And then for her N formula, we're going to do half an ounce of the 9N and then half an ounce of 9PA. And then I'm going to be mixing an ounce of the processing liquid with all of them. So I'm going to have a total of 2 ounces for each, so a total of 6 ounces altogether. Alright, so we're going to start in the front. I'm going to section out these front pieces and do those last because we're going to do just a little bit of a root tap here and make sure we keep most of this brighter in the front. So I'm going to start about a couple inches back on both sides, and we're going to start with the Demi formula, which was the equal parts of the 5N and 4N. I'm just going to start sectioning and feathering it down a little bit. Same thing on the other side. I'm keeping that front piece out, and we'll do that very last. And I'm just going to part her hair down the middle and the back. And just kind of apply my color to section the hair to start off with, and then we'll start working it further down. I love working with the Demi because it's like a gel-like consistency, so it saturates the hair really well, and it's easy to work with, which makes it perfect for color melting, which is exactly what we're doing today. It just makes it really easy for the colors to blend really well together as you're applying it and as it's processing. I'm going to place a foil here just to keep everything clean. We're going to start taking thin sections, and I'm going to apply it down till about right here. And I'm just feathering the color at the ends. And then I'm going to use a technique with my fingers and my comb to make sure it's all blended from roots to ends once we start getting into the second and third color. Alright, so I've just finished applying on this side her shadow root, the dark color. So now we're going to work our way back up and we're going to start adding in her middle and end color. So I'm going to take my comb, I'm just going to comb through the hair. You want to keep the teeth of the comb pointed up towards the ceiling, that way it doesn't get color in the hair, it keeps it on the end of the comb. And then I always keep a towel in my cart, so we're just going to wipe this off. And then we're going to take my gloves and just kind of blend it down. The color should almost be like saturated in the hair. It shouldn't be so much color that you can see a lot of it like laying on the hair, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to work it down a little bit. And it's okay if in the front the dark doesn't come down as far as in the back, because I almost want the color to come back down further in the back with the dark color. So it's got that nice fade from light to dark. And then I'm going to go ahead and take our middle color, which is the 7PA and the 6N. And then we're just going to start applying it literally right where we left off. Take your, and I'm just going to feather it up into that dark color. And then wipe the excess off on your towel so you don't get messy. And then take the next section and do the same thing. We're going to take the comb first, get any of the excess color combed down. Keep the teeth up pointed towards the ceiling so it catches in the comb and so it doesn't go down too far. And then just take the gloves, feather it down a little bit more. And then we're going to take our 6N, 7PA, start working it in right where we left off. Don't go down too far because you need to make sure that you have enough lightness on those ends. And then we're just going to feather it up into to make sure we get a nice blur and blend right here. And then come down, feather it down into the hair a little bit, and lift up. That way we keep everything nice and clean. And we're going to continue to do this, working up the head. And we're going to do this all the way around the head. Okay, so because I went up her head in sections and started running my fingers through it, everything kind of stayed sectioned. So I'm just going to grab this bottom section right here, and then we're going to go ahead and apply that end color as well on the same side. Then we're going to move over, do the other side, and then we're going to work our way to the back. And like I said, we'll do these pieces last. So on the ends, again, this is going to be the 9N and 9PA formula. I'm just going to completely saturate, and then take my glove and just feather it up into that mid-shaft color. And then I'm going to wipe my hands again, keep them clean, and then I'm going to pick up the next section under here, and we're just going to apply that 9N and 9PA to her ends. And we are going to be letting this process for the full 20 minutes. And we're just going to take it up right where the colors meet, and take this and we're blending the color up. So we're not blending the mid-shaft down, we're blending the end color up. Because we want to bring the lightness up, we don't want to bring the darkness down any further. Here's the next section right here. And apply this to the ends. and then work it up into that Midshaft color. Work it down in the ends.
Yeah, I was going to say, research it and you know, then if you're interested, try it.
Okay, and then we got our last section right here on top. Make sure we get it nice and saturated. Get it nice and saturated where those colors meet. And then we're going to blend this up into the medium color. And we're going to work our way on the other side, do the same exact thing on the other side. Alright, so now we're to the front, and I'm just going to kind of tap her roots a little bit and feather it back just a tiny bit. And then we're going to take that Midshaft color, the 6N and 7PA, and then just work that down a little bit. And like I said, I want to keep that blonde, as much of it as possible. And then just going to apply that 9N and 7PA on the ends. Work it up to here. And then we're just going to feather up and smudge that color so it blends really, really well. And then we'll just place it there, let it process. And then we'll come over to this side, do the same thing. Just going to take a skinny vertical section. We're going to feather the color back a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of that Midshaft color, feather that back, blend it in, and then apply the 9N and 9PA to the ends, and then just blend it up. And then we'll take this last section and do the same thing. To the roots, blend that down, and I'm just going to blend that down a little bit, and then we're just going to go straight to that 9N and 9PA right here. Alright, and then this is her hair all colored up. We're going to let it process for 15 more minutes. And then you guys can see how it's blending it. You can see it's a little bit darker here. It slowly gets a little bit lighter, and then it's going to be even lighter on her ends. So I will go ahead and we're going to do a treatment on her after, and then we'll dry and style, and I'll show you guys the after results. Okay, here is the after. You guys, I'm so obsessed. It looks so good. You can see that beautiful dark shadow root, and then it just kind of fades into like a medium Midshaft color, and then it gets a little bit brighter on the ends, and you guys can see we left it a little bit brighter in the front. Love it. And then here is the back, and again we did 5N and 4N equal parts of Paul Mitchell The Demi on her roots, and then we faded that into 6N and 7PA equal parts The Demi. And then we did 9N and 9PA on the ends. I love how this turned out. It's so shiny. We also did a treatment on her. Looks so good.